Okay, welcome back, and now we're going to solve this equation, or excuse me, solve this triangle. Now the first thing we want to notice is what's given. Okay, so we've got side-side angle, and so we've got, we know this angle with its opposite side, and we know this side which is opposite this angle, so we're going to use the law of sines to solve for angle B. Okay, so now, in this case here, we're going to set up the sine of 85 degrees divided by 12, the length of the side opposite, C, is equal to sine of B divided by 9, which is the length of the side opposite B. So here's what we have, and we want to solve for B. So again, I'm going to multiply both sides by 9, and we get sine of B is equal to 9 times sine of 85 degrees divided by 12. And again, if I take the inverse sine of both sides, I get B is equal to inverse sine of 9 times sine of 85 degrees over 12. Which gives me an approximate, if you put in your calculator, you get an approximate value of 48.3 degrees, rounded to the nearest tenth of a degree. So 48.3 degrees. Now, okay, now here's where we have to see if there is another solution. Okay, there might be another solution here. Okay. Okay, so now, what do we do? Okay, so in this case here, we know these two sides, right? So if we compare these two sides, okay, we know this side is less than this side. Okay, and this angle is an acute angle. And this angle is also an acute angle. So if we look at taking the 180 degrees, right? So let's take 180 degrees for a moment, taking these two angles. So let's take 180 degrees for a moment, and let's just subtract off this angle that we got, which is 48.3. So we're going to subtract 48.3 degrees. And so that gives us what? 131.7 degrees, right? And so now, this one's fixed, right? Okay? So what happens if we have another angle, or we have the sum, excuse me, right? So we take supplementary angles, right? So remember what I said. If there is another angle, they'll be supplementary. Okay? So they have to add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so that's why we subtracted these two so we can get the other angle. So this is the other possible angle. Well, if there is such an angle, so that means this is swinging, right? Okay. So what do you think if this is actually swinging out? Let's say there's another angle. Well, we should be able to take this plus 85 degrees, and that's going to give us what? That gives us 216.7 degrees, which is over 180 degrees, right? Remember, the three interior angles can only add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so we're over the amount. So that's impossible, right? So therefore, there is not a second triangle. Okay, so we don't have to worry about there being two solutions. Okay, so now, so we know if we fill in our table, A, B, C, right? So we know A, we don't have A. B is approximately 48.3 degrees. C is 85 degrees. And so now all we have to do is use the fact that it adds up to 180 degrees, right? So if we add these two together, we get 133.3, right? So I'll verify that, 133.3 degrees. So that's 133, yep, 133.3. So if we subtract this from 180 degrees, right, then we get 46.7 degrees. And that's going to be A, approximately, right? Since we had the only angle we know for sure exactly is C because that was given to us. Okay, so now we got the angles. So now let's use the law of sines and solve for the missing side. So we know A, we don't know A. We know B and C. So B is 9 and C is 12. And so now we're going to use the law of sines and find A. So it's going to be sine of 85 degrees over 12 is equal to sine A over, sine of, what's A? A is 46.7. 46.7 degrees over A. And so now I'm just going to do what I've been doing before. So I'm going to invert both sides. So this is going to be 12 over sine 85 degrees is equal to A over sine of 46.7 degrees. Of course, if I multiply both sides by sine of 46.7 degrees, I get A is equal to 12 times the sine of 46.7 degrees, all divided by the sine of 85 degrees. And so A, if I stick this in my calculator, will give me approximately 8.8. And so this is going to be approximately equal to 8.8. And that gives me the solution to this triangle. Have a great day.